Hi there folks, it's Shirley Young here from Handmade by Shirley. Just come on today to do a wee video because I haven't done one for ages. And I'm just going to be making decorating a gift bag and making a card. So I just going to start. So I've cut out all my pieces and I'm using Stampin' Up products. So I'm going to make this little card. I've got a nice wee base card, and it measures, let me see, let me get the right piece, probably better to go down to here. So it's just 6 inches by 5 3/4. And then I've got this nice piece of designer series paper from, I'm not sure what, I can't remember, but it's definitely a Stampin' Up one and it's actually current. And I've got some little fussy cut out snowmen from last year's, or might be the year before, DSP, I'm not entirely sure. So I'm just going to make a nice simple card. And as I say, I'm going to also, just come down slightly, I'm going to also decorate a gift bag and add a tag. So all I'm really going to do is, it's very simple, I'm just going to pop this piece of DSP onto the base card. This DSP, I didn't tell you the measurements for that, so let's just quickly check before I stick it down. So it is 5 and about 5 3/4 is by just below 5 3/4 by 5 1/2 roughly. So I'm just going to stick that on. I'm just going to line it up with this line here so I can get it as straight as I can. And what I find when you put the tape runner on is if you curve it down in the middle first and then hover over, and then if you're happy with that, just then lay it flat after that, and that's your front of your card. Now, as I say, I fussy cut out a couple of these wee snowmen. I'm going to pop them up on some foam tape or foam pads. If I can find my foam pads now, that's not them. They're hiding over here. Let's just got them. So just to give them a wee bit of dimension. So I've just fussy cut them out, and I'm going to add, I've got a black pen, I'm going to add their arms and whatever else, because I couldn't fussy cut around them. They're too fine and delicate, so much easier to cut them off and then just draw them in after. Let's put another one in the bottom there, and this one. So I'm going to be coming on doing a lot of different sort of things now on my channel. So I'm going to put that one in the middle, just there. So I'm going to be doing some paper crafting still, some card making and box making, but I'm also going to be doing a little bit of journaling, journal making, and some sort of more framed items and mixed media type things. So yeah, I'm just going to change it up slightly. It's always nice to you know, do a bit more than just paper crafts. Well, if you know, if that's what you want to do, but I am able to do. I'm very lucky that I'm able to be able to do other crafting stuff as well. So just to give you a wee heads up on that. So that's then put on. Now what I want to do is just add a little sentiment. And I've got a wee piece of white paper here, and I do have a piece of silver. Find it in my scraps box. A piece of silver. There's a piece, but it's quite a big piece. Okay, no worries. Let's just actually use this one. That's the base of the card here. So what I plan to do is just cut this bit in half because I only want to have one piece. And I'll just, now I've got a set called Poinsettia Petals. This I think might be current, I'm not entirely sure with not being an actual demonstrator anymore, but it's a nice set, so I am going to use the Merry Christmas sentiment here at the bottom. So if I can just find it, there we go. And I've got a block here. And I've got some soft succulent ink. So I'm going to cut this down to size because I'm going to use a punch, so I'm not going to put this massive piece of paper on. It's just I want a piece that's kind of big just to show you what you can do. Let's just pop that on there. That's nice. Put that to the side just now. I'll hide my ink because knowing me, I'll stick my finger in it or something. And I'm just going to bring out my trimmer. Cut that down. I was going to use the tag punch, but I think I'll just do it like this actually. So I've cut that down to size by eye. I don't tend to measure a lot of things, I just tend to eyeball it because that's the way I have always worked. But you know, I think with something like this, I mean, you could put it through this punch here, so you could cut it down to that size and then pop it through the punch at the end, which let's see if I can actually do that. Probably not, but you could do that and then punch off the ends. I'm not going to do it now because I haven't left myself enough paper to do that. So I've done that bit, and I need a piece to give me a tiny border all the way around, just really quite a small border. So I'm just going to eyeball this again. I'm just going to try and keep it straight. So, and then just catch that there. I might have to cut it a bit shorter. No, that's fine. So just pop that on, then you can check if it's straight enough, and then just hold it there and give it another little bit of border all the way round, and then that's your sentiment and your backing on it. So I think I'm just going to pop this on here, this side. So I'm just going to pop it on with a little bit of tape runner. You could pop it on with glue or double-sided tape. And then I'm just going to try and make sure that's straightish. There's a bit squint, but I could straighten it up very slightly indeed. Don't know if it'll go. It'll be very slightly. And maybe a little tiny bit more at this end as well. It's probably a bit too much there, but we'll just leave it like that. And then I'm going to pop it on with some dimensionals. Again, just pop it up. So I'm going to have 3 of them. Up, and then we can draw in the arms, and then I've got a little bit of stickles to pop on as well. So I'm just going to pop, could pop it in the middle, might pop it in the middle. There we go. And I've got some Stardust stickles, which is basically just glitter glue, which I wanted to just stick, just put on, not stick. My English is not very good there. Just at the bottom, if I can get it to come out, so just a wee bit, you know, down there at his feet, a wee bit more here maybe, if it would come out. Probably not much left, but it's just to give it a bit of extra texture. Come on, stickles, out you come. They're not playing ball. Anyway, I think you get the gist, and then you can just add, put one on the, dot it on the eye, if it'll come out, just on the eye. That's it. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I've just got a black uni ball pen. I'm just going to pop the rest of his arms on down there, just so it doesn't look like he's not got any. There we go. And this one, he had arms coming down too. And he had this as well, just add on there. And this guy actually had bits coming out of here as well, which I'm just going to pop on. And this guy's arms were kind of up, like so. That one was up as well, so I'll just pop these on. There we go. So, not going on so well over the silver, but yep, can just go over them a few times just to make sure they are there. Oh, that one's the same. So that's basically my card. So yes, I'll put an insert in it, and I'd probably just possibly leave it blank or put one of the other sentiments that's on here. Warm wishes from our home to yours, or something nice like that. So that's the card done. So I'm going to do now the gift bag. So I've got a gift bag, pop this away. Got a gift bag already. Just a nice paper bag, but I sometimes like to, I've done this before, where I like to cover it with some paper, front and back, and then I put a nice tag and maybe a ribbon on it or something else. So I've got the same paper and I've cut it to size. The bag was 5 by 6. So I've cut the pieces of paper to 4 3/4. But actually the bag must have been 5 by 8.5. So I've cut the paper, as I say, to 4 3/4 by 8. Okay, so that would be what you would use if you were using this size of bag. And then I've cut out 2 pieces, a piece of white and a piece of silver for my tag, which are 2 inches wide, and their length, I've just left the length because I'm going to be cutting it anyway, but I am going to be making a tab top on the top. So what I'll start with first is the bag. So as I say, it's just a paper bag with paper handles, and I just want to cover it. So I'm going to use some red liner tape for this, because I feel that that will hold this on properly and it will stay in place. So I tend to like using things like red liner tape for things like this, or sort of construction with boxes and stuff, because I feel that it's very strong and it keeps everything in place. So I mean, you could use glue. I wouldn't necessarily use tape pen unless it's exceedingly strong, but I would say use this because it's pretty good. So I'll put that on both backs just to save a bit of time. Just, that one's gone a bit off, so just pop kind of 4 pieces all the way around onto it, like so. I'm going to pop an extra bit on that side because it's gone a bit squint. Oh, nearly cut that bit. So we're just going to pop an extra bit on there because I've kind of gone off squint. That bit, so just a wee bit on that bit there. Just to hold that in place. There we go. So just give that all, oh, don't fall on the floor, just give that a good press down all the way around for it coming off. And then we're going to just, hopefully I can get this off my fingers, because usually I can, but sometimes with these nails you can't get them off. That's it. So I've swapped sides for my bin. Usually I have my bin to my right hand side, but for some reason it's not at my right hand side, but that's okay. So obviously you can use a pokey tool to take this off. I just find it easier with my fingers, my nails and fingers, to do it, because that's just how I work. But you know, do what just do what you works best for you, really. And you will still get the same results, I'm sure. So let's pop this onto this front part, we'll call it. So there should be a little even border all the way round, and then just press it all down just to make sure it's adhered. And then turn it over to this side. Now this is a bit more tricky, so I need to do this one. It's a bit trickier, but it works. So do the same with this piece. Just get all your red liner tape off. Oh, come on. Doesn't want to come off. Come on, tease it gently. That was it there. It's coming. Oh dear, no. Let's try this side. As I say, it is a bit finicky with this, but it does hold on. Hold on. You don't want to be giving this to somebody and then it all falls off. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to press that bit down to make it flat, and then we're going to just do the same. Make sure there's an even border all the way around, and just let's squint that side. Never mind. And just pop it down, and then that's your covered bag. So I'm going to now make my tag. So I've got, as I said, the white and the silver punched out. So I'm just going to pop the white one in. It's a bit big, but and just, if you've got a punch like this, if you don't, you can just find something else to punch it with. So I think I actually need to cut them a bit smaller because they're still a bit too thick, too wide I should say. So I'm going to cut the 2/8 off of that, just so it's going to fit in. And I'll just do the same with the silver one. A couple of 8ths off, and then that should fit into the punch. So as I say, you could use this punch if you've got it. If you don't, what you could do is just cut a couple of bits off, like a couple of triangles off at the side, and then like I can show you because I'm not going to use the whole thing. So you could just put them together, and then you could cut that off like so, and then turn it round and cut that off, and then you could just punch a hole in the middle, and that would be your tag. So I'm just going to put them in now because it'll fit. So I'll just pop this in and we'll punch that out, and that's that one done. And then we'll just do the same for that, and that's that one. And then I'll be able to cut the bottom off. I just wanted two because I thought it's quite nice layered up with 2 pieces. So if I bring my trimmer back in, I'll just trim this end off. We don't need those. And then I'll bring in my stamp ink, my ink. So I'm trying to think if I will just put Merry Christmas on it, or if I could put something else on it. Just trying to see. I suppose Merry Christmas is quite nice. down there. Right, that's what we'll do. Just put Merry Christmas back on it, but I'll put it at a kind of slant, like that. Okay. And then I want to fill, there's some wee bits there that could be filled in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the smallest, no, actually I'm going to get these berries out these sets. What you could do this, if you could just put anything on, you can put any set on, that doesn't have to be this, it's just what I'm using, but you can just use what you've got. So just to fill that in and make it look less sparse, I'm just going to pop these in, and I'm just doing an extra little generation stamp there. Might do that there. Oh, just want to stamp that off and then pop that and that on there. Okay, and that's my top tag for my bag. So I've got a little piece of grey here I'm going to use. So what I want to do is I want to thread this through both of these like that. Okay, and then just tie a knot in them, just here, top. Oh, just tie a knot there like that. Tie it again, and then all I'm going to do is make sure that's at the top part of your tag, and then all I'm going to do is pop that round this handle and pop it there like so, and I'm just going to put a small bow in it, hopefully, if I can get it to go. If not, well, I can't, so if it was big, that bit there's too big. And just pull that in a bit, pull that down a bit, cut off the excess, and that's your bag and your little tag. And that's a really nice little gift to give to somebody, and that's your little card as well to go with it. So you could send that to a friend or a family member with a little gift in the bag, and it's all handmade by you. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you feel inspired to maybe do something similar. And if you liked what you saw, I hope you could give me a thumbs up, and possibly it'd be nice if you could subscribe to my channel or share it with people who you think would enjoy this type of thing. And thank you for watching. Bye for now.